welcome back to the All Things Good channel and to a new video. I hope you're all doing really well this week. Thank you for joining me. It's lovely to see you. Well, it's been another busy week. Mila's a bit exhausted. As you can see, I'm a bit exhausted today as well, to be honest, but there's lots to show you. Bought some things from Home Bargains, a couple of other bits and pieces, and the Invisible Chef is back with an Indian biryani, a vegetarian option, and a chicken option as well. So lots to show you with that. But today I've been over to Mum's and we've been sorting out some bits and pieces. And something really funny happened because we went to a shop and she said to me, I found some money at home. So I'm going to pay cash today. You don't need to use my bank card. I said, okay. So we get to the checkout and then she's presenting the cashier with these. Let me show you a bit closely. Do any of you remember these? Mother had got a stash of old £1 notes. Well, I was gobsmacked. I don't know where she's had these in hiding, but apart from one that's a little bit battered and bruised, they are absolutely pristine, and she's got a whole load of them. So she was trying to buy her shopping with £1 notes that went out of circulation in, I think, about 1984. So never mind. I'm going to have to decide what I'm going to do with those, whether we just keep them or take them to the bank or, I don't know, stick them on eBay or something. I really don't know. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this week's video. Let's get into it. So I've just been out with Mom actually for a little while. I say a little while. She has shopped me out today. We've actually been out for 3 hours. We did have lunch in that time as well. And haven't filmed her today actually, but we went to a retail park not too far away from us, and we went into Home Bargains, got some bargains. We went into Aldi. She did quite a lot of shopping in there. Then we went into Marks and Spencer's. I have something to show you from Marks and Spencer's. And we had lunch there as well in the cafe, which was lovely, I hasten to add. And I'm worn out, quite frankly. And I don't know how, but I've come back with 2 bags of shopping and she's come back with 4. I wonder where I get my shopping habits from. Anyway, we've had a lovely time and I'm going to show you my purchases of the week. The first purchase is actually off Amazon, and I've bought 2 of these, and the reason I've bought 2 of them is because I'm going to need them, because I do have rather a large amount of herbs and spices. So I've actually got 2 of these. These are by Joji's Kitchen, and they are freestanding spice and herb racks. So you can see I've already got some of my excess herbs and spices out here because I have got a corner unit in my kitchen that's a bit like a pull-out larder, which is really, really useful. It's great. And I've got hundreds of herbs and spices in there. I need to go through them. I'm going to sort out that cupboard a bit later on and go through some of the old ones, see if there's anything that needs to be thrown out. But I've got lots of new ones and had to buy lots of new ones this week for the Invisible Chef's beautiful recipe that's coming up as well. So I decided to invest in some freestanding spice and herb racks because I've not decided yet whether these will go on my worktops for ease of access or whether they will slot nicely into my little corner larder so everything will be organised and easy to get to. So I'm going to open this up to show you because I've only obviously seen these online because they're on Amazon. I haven't seen them for real yet. And I did have quite a browse because I wasn't sure whether to get an over-the-door hanging one or a wall-mounted one. And I actually probably would have preferred a wall-mounted one, but then it's the whole DIY of doing it. And I don't want to ruin my walls, and I'm not great at things like that, to be honest. So I thought, no, I'll go for freestanding, and then I've got a choice of where it goes. Oh, it's really nice, actually. So it's in chrome, silver chrome, which is nice. And apparently one rack holds 20 herbs and spices. It's got these little suckers on the back. So if they are against a wall, a tiled wall, preferably, I would say, they will stay in place. You won't have them toppling over. And they're a perfect size for the worktop actually, because they will fit underneath my cabinets. So it's possible I might have the 2 together in a row, but I need to make room and move things about in the kitchen. So there's a job for me. But anyway, I've bought 2 of those and perhaps a bit later on in the video we'll have a go through at where these are going to go and if I need to move things around in the kitchen or whether they're going to go back in the larder area. Who knows, but very pleased with those. I should link the price, full description for you in the description box down below. And then in Marks and Spencer's, I was actually treated to, because Mum bought me this today, which I thought was really sweet. I was trying on their perfumes and I haven't bought a Marks and Spencer's perfume for years. And actually it would appear that Marks and Spencer's now do, excuse me, quite a lot of different fragrances than they used to. There's a whole new range of all sorts of things, but I really like this. And this is my autograph and it's Plum Blossom Eau de Parfum. It's gorgeous. It's, I'm not a very flowery floral person when it comes to perfume, but this is heavier than floral, but not too heavy. It's not musky. I can't really describe it, but it's very nice. It's very summery, but it's not too floral. It's a little bit heavier than that, but I really liked it as a day-to-day. It's very sophisticated, scented. It has got here the notes in them. So top notes of mandarin and pink pepper, middle notes of plum, blossom and peony, base notes of sandalwood, and the mood soft and floral. Yeah, I kind of get that. It's not flowery floral, but it's really nice. And they actually come in these very nice little boxes as well, and no plastic wrapper over the top, which is great because it's forever trying to get into the blinking things. But that's a really nice box that you could actually keep it in as well. I tend to get rid of the boxes and put them in the recycling, but really like that. So Mum bought me that, made in the UK as well, by autograph in Marks and Spencer's, £19.99 for 100ml. I thought that was quite reasonably priced, so super happy with that. And then I'll show you my purchases from Home Bargains. Quite a lot of sort of householdy stuff this week, but I did buy some washing pods, and this week I went for the Daz limited edition Cherry Blossom. Haven't had these before, seen them advertised by my very good friend Alison Hammond. For those of you that know me know that I know Alison Hammond. Very good friends, we've been friends for 30 years, long story, but there we go. She's been advertising these on telly recently, and I haven't bought them because of Alison, I bought them because I thought, oh, I'll try a new fragrance. But they are Cherry Blossom, and I have used Daz quite a lot before in the past. Haven't used it for a while actually, so hopefully that will smell nice. And I'm getting through lots of washing pods at the moment because Adam's home. What can I say? My son is home from uni, the fridge is constantly bare, and the washing laundry basket is constantly full. And you do forget when they're not here for long periods of time how much there is to do, and when they're back it's like, oh my God. But that's okay, I'm coping, I'm still alive. Next thing I got was a very standard bottle of bleach. This was only 69p in Home Bargains. I normally go for Domestos, as you know. They have got the Domestos one, and I think it was over £1 per bottle. So I decided to go for this because it does say it's seriously thick bleach, and that is what I like in bleach. I find that sometimes the cheaper ones are very, very watery, and I don't like that. So we'll try this seriously thick bleach sparkling white from Home Bargains. I also got a Sephora. I often stock up on this, as you know, my favourite scent of all time, very old scent actually, Country Garden. This is a very big one. This is a 500ml and it was just over £4. So on a percentage volume basis, that's actually quite reasonably, I tried to say reasonably last week as well, didn't I? And it didn't come out right. Okay, it's quite reasonably priced, I thought. Maybe I'm talking too quick. Is that it? Maybe, I don't know. Tired, probably. I bought a 3-pack of bamboo face cloths. I really like these for washing my face after taking my makeup off and cleansing in the evening. I am a double cleanser when it comes to removing makeup. So I remove my makeup with micellar water, and then I always use a face cloth like these and face wash of some description to double cleanse before I tone and moisturise before I go to bed. So I've had these before, they're really nice, really, really nice. 3-pack, can't remember how much they are. Might have the receipt in the bottom of the bag, so I'll check that out in a second if I have. And if I don't mention it here, I will link it down below for you. So there's 3 in there, so nice. Now, this is a funny one for me because the other thing I hate the smell of, hate it, because it makes me remember being so sick as a child, is Dettol, disinfectant antiseptic Dettol. But it's the original brown one that I just cannot cope with. Mum uses it a lot and I desperately try to get her to change her ways, because when I go to her house, if she's had the Dettol out, oh my goodness. I don't know what it is. I think I must be traumatized from my childhood illnesses or something, but I cannot stand it. I hate it. However, I bought some today, but it's a different one. This is Flower Power Dettol disinfectant liquid. So I'll give it a go. I should give it a go. Actually, it does smell quite nice. It says it's Flower Power, kills COVID-19 virus, plus a lot of other things. Kills 99.9% of viruses and bacteria, actually. And yeah, it's very floral. I actually quite like it. So there we go. Flower Power. Let's see what it does. It has antibacterial action, freshness, cleans well. It's free from bleach, so it's going to be suitable for your toilets, sinks and baths, counters, floors, work surfaces. What does it say here? High chairs, mats, all those kind of things. Trays. You can pretty much use it everywhere, actually. You can clean your toilet with that. Be absolutely fine. So I've gone against the grain completely buying Dettol, but it isn't the original one. It isn't the brown sicky child traumatic memories Dettol. It's Flower Power Dettol. So we'll give it a go. Again, can't remember how much it was, but it was on a good offer. That's why I bought it. What else have we got? Yes, I found my receipt. Right, we also got, you know how I like a Febreze air freshener for the bathroom, trying a different scent. Change these about once a month, and we've gone for Bora Bora vibes. So these two haven't got the test scratch and sniff sticker on, but this one has. I can't speak today again, can I? I don't know what's the matter with me. Maybe it's that menopause thing. Does it affect your speech as well? God. Oh, to be a woman, hey. So I've got two that haven't got the scratch and sniff stickers on. One that has, and smells a bit like sun lotion. Is the way I can describe it. They're calling it Bora Bora vibe. So yeah, that holiday kind of nice suntan lotion smell. So yeah, kind of fruity floral. Anyway, those will freshen up the bathroom nicely. 3 of those for my 3 bathrooms. Also got a 2-pack of the Ivory Cousins Imperial Leather Original Bars. That was £1. So 50p each. Can't say fairer than that for soap. Now I do use soap, but I normally religiously stick to Dove soap. But I had a bit of a, not a deja vu moment, a sort of remembering moment. And my granny always had Imperial leather in her bathrooms. When I was a little girl, I always remember going into Granny's bathroom and thinking, it smells lovely in here, and it was always the soap. And I was always mesmerised at the way the little sticker stayed on in the middle, right into the end of the soap. And sometimes I'd try and peel it off and be cheeky and she'd tell me off. Anyway, I thought, oh, you know, I was thinking about Granny. I bought some Imperial leather. There we go. And that's the reason for buying that this week. I also got some car air fresheners, a pack of 3. One that looks a bit like a bottle of Chanel, but it clearly isn't. It's called Luxurious Sandalwood, and that's my kind of scent. One that's like a very happy smiley face rainbow, and one that's like a, well, I remember that kind of thing back in the 90s. Ravey kind of happy face, but I might give those 2 to Grace for her car, and I might have that one. So they were very cheap as well. I found my receipt now, so I'll tell you in a second. And then this was a bit of a random purchase, but I got 50 battery operated LED starry lights. Does have 8 functions and a timer, and these are in pure white, but you can get them in warm white as well. But the reason I got these is because randomly, this is an empty bottle of gin. Now, Paul bought me this bottle of gin when we were returning from our holiday in Menorca back in June, and this weekend I finished it. So it's taken me 2 months to get through a litre of gin. I don't think that's too bad in the great scheme of things. And it was absolutely delicious. But what I love about it as well is the bottle. I really love this bottle. And I thought, I don't want to throw it away. I really don't want to throw it away. What shall I do with it? Could I have it as a candle holder? Could I do something with it? And Paul said, why don't you put some lights in it? I thought, actually, that's a really good idea, and that would look really nice somewhere on display, probably in the kitchen. It would become quite a kitcheny kind of accessory then, wouldn't it? Perhaps in the middle of my table. So I've bought these LED lights to go inside the bottle, and strangely enough, the picture on the box is of, it's actually a jar, but it's a clear glass bottle with the lights in. So I thought, there we go. So I'm going to give that a go. I'll show you that later when I've done that. Hopefully that's successful. Those are all my purchases, but just to go through the prices, right, the Daz pods, there's 43 in there, I believe, yes, and that was £8.99, so it's not cheap, but not the most expensive out there. Yes, £1 for the car air fresheners. The Febreze Bora Bora, £2.49. Not great. The Flora, as I say, was just over £4. And the, oh, actually, I say that, £2.49, but it was buy 3 for 6. So there was a bit, so effectively £2 each. See, I'm not that bad at maths after all. The bleach, 69p. The Dettol was £2.49. The soap, 99p, and the face cloths were £1.99, and the lights were £7.99. So my total spend in Home Bargains today was £34 and 92p. Not too bad, and a few little extras in there, isn't there? Things that aren't essentials, but some nice little bits and pieces. So that's it, my little shop for today. And now I need to sort out my corner cupboard, my little larder, as I call it. Sort these spices out, chuck away anything that's old, sort them all out, make them all nice and neat, and have a good old sort out and decide where everything is going. So let's get cracking. I am very pleased with the lights in the gin bottle trick, and it's going to live here on my kitchen windowsill. You can't quite see it in all its glory in the day, but it does look very pretty. The Invisible Chef is back this week, and he has made a really gorgeous chicken biryani and a vegetarian alternative as well. We needed lots and lots of things from the supermarket, including all these amazing spices. It's a good job I bought that spice rack to hone them in. And actually we decided to do the chicken biryani by cooking 2 whole chickens first. This actually gives you much more meat, much tastier meat than buying diced or chicken breast. And you actually get a lot more quantity. So if you're feeding a family, it's much cheaper to do it that way, and definitely more tasty. As with anything that you cook from scratch, there is quite a lot of preparation involved, and all in all, this meal with the 2 different options actually took about 2 hours. I will link all the ingredients and the description on how we put it all together, or rather how the Invisible Chef has put it all together. I was simply helping out, and it's all down in the description box down below for you. But the smells that were going through the kitchen as all this was coming together was amazing. So here we are having our moment on the bed. And I know I often talk about the weather, don't I? But I don't know about you, I am sick of this rain now, proper sick of it. But vicious rumour has it that next week we are in for a bit of a heat wave. So keep your fingers crossed for that, because I'm looking forward to catching a little bit of summer in this country before it really is all over and done with. It would be so nice, wouldn't it? And today Do you know, I was thinking about the power of words. Words in all words, whether they're negative or positive, and how sometimes negative words resonate with us and affect us more than positive ones do, and how I feel that that shouldn't be the case. And why is that? Why do we sometimes feel and take on board negative words more than positive ones? And I think a couple or so years ago, when I came out of quite a bad relationship that you've heard me talk about before, I made it my mission to always try and be kind. And my granny always used to say, if you can only be one thing in life, be kind. And I've never forgot that. And I always do my best at all times to be kind to people, but also to be positive, or as positive as I can be, even if there's a dilemma, even if there's a sadness, even if there is anger, to try and be cool, calm and collected and bring in some positivity. And I think you get so much back from it as well when you do. Do you find that? We're going back to negative words. Obviously, I heard a lot of negative words in previous, particularly romantic relationships, particularly one actually, but they do affect, or they affected me actually a lot more than I think in the end positive words did. Positive words almost became empty because you tend to believe the bad stuff over the good stuff. And I just suddenly thought about this today, and I thought, now, why is that? Why is that? And I think it's just because we can get so hurt, and that hurt and negativity seem to have a more detrimental effect. Well, they do have a detrimental effect, but they have a more, sometimes a deeper effect than positive words. And that's something that I've made my mission to turn around completely, certainly over the past couple of years. And now I accept positive words a lot more freely and with a lot more gratitude than anything negative. But also it's learning to realise when positive words are spoken that they're not just positive, but they're also truthful and heartfelt. And weaving your way through that is another subject completely. And it comes back to the saying of actions speak louder than words. And I do believe that in every sense of the meaning. I think actions do speak louder than words, but I don't think it should stop you from using positive words as well. And I remember my dad always used to say to me, and particularly in the last couple of years of his life actually, he'd always say, having lost a daughter, he was quite regretful that he didn't say to her, I love you, more times than he did, which was an awful thing for him to live with. And as much as everyone said to him, you should have no regrets, and you know, he used to say, I regret falling out with her, I regret scolding her as a child or a teenager. And you say, well, you can't live with that kind of regret. You loved her deeply. She knew that you loved her deeply. And he said, well, I wish I'd told her more. And I've been guilty of saying to him and other people, yes, but actions speak louder than words. And you showed her that you loved her. But he felt that he hadn't told her enough. And something he used to say to me, particularly in the last couple of years before he died, was, if you love somebody, tell them. Make sure you tell them and you show them, but tell them, because it's really important that they know and they hear it from your lips. And for some reason, I was in the car on the way home from work actually, thinking about this, and I thought, it's so true. Both those things are so true. Actions do speak louder than words, but positive words have a positive effect. And, you know, we get so bogged down, don't we, with the bad news that we see on television. And actually, I don't watch the news anymore. I haven't watched the news for a long time, and I highly recommend it. Mainstream media news to me is gobbledygook. I don't think it reflects our true world at the moment, but that's another subject again. But yeah, positive words can mean and bring such a lot to people. And in my line of work, sometimes I'm talking to people who have just lost somebody. Sometimes I'm talking to people that are going through separations. Sometimes I talk to people who are just stressed because they're moving house or what have you. And being on the end of the phone with a calm and positive outlook doesn't half make a difference, I tell you. And, you know, sometimes in the workplace, you know, people will make negative comments, and well, it doesn't have to be about another person, but they might just be negative in general or moaning all the time and those kind of things. And you think, you know what, if it's that bad, do something else or turn it round. If you can't change something, change the way you think about it. And I was just on my way home from work today, nothing to do with work. I just had this general thought of positivity. And I just thought it makes them feel better and it makes you feel better, doesn't it? When you're kind to someone and you're positive. And I know sometimes we can't always be. Some things make us really cross and we react, and that's natural and that's good in many ways. But yeah, the power of words. It's an interesting one, isn't it? Anyway, tell me what you think. I'll be very, very interested to know what you think. And I hope you have enjoyed this week's video. I'm certainly very pleased with my purchases this week as well. That's all good. And hopefully I'll have Nancy in next week's video. She's very well. I am pretty tired at the moment. She is struggling. I think this week has not been such a good week. She's struggling more with her short-term memory. We seem to go through a good couple of days and then we seem to have a run of a few not so good days where the repetitive questions and the short-term memory loss seems very prevalent, and it can be you finish a sentence and then she's back to that question she asked you a couple of seconds ago. And then some days that doesn't seem to be too much of a problem, or the periods of time in between her re-asking a question or re-asking for details and information is longer. But I'm certainly finding that the bad days are a little bit more so at the moment, and it's fine. She's physically very well, but it's very tiring. It is very tiring and very draining, and I know that some of you are in a similar position, and I want her to catch her positivity on video as well. So hopefully I'll be able to film her this week. I'll take her somewhere nice at some point and get her out and about, and she loves that. But when she's not in, you know, she's not so switched on, as it were, for want of a much better phrase, I don't film her because I don't want her to feel under pressure or that she's got to talk about something and she might be a little bit confused and what have you. But I know that you all like to see her, so I shall try and get her in next week's video. Anyway, I shall wrap it up for today, and I hope you're all doing really well. Thank you for joining me. I do appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed already, please do. I'd love you to be part of this lovely little community we've got going on here and to grow our channel as much as possible. But until next Sunday, stay safe, stay in the boat, and keep doing all things good. And I'll see you same time, same place next week. Take care. Bye.